What's good, YouTube? Sam Crow here, aka Scoop, back with the World Showdown Series, season number 5, and we've got our week number 10 match and our week number 11 match here in a double whammy video. As per usual, lately on my World Showdown Series, Ninamori Nation Draft League, and CPC battles, we've been doing some double whammies. Anyways, another one here. We got our week 10 match first, and we're facing off against MLG Poplio, and he's got Darkrai, Zard X, two huge threats, Gligar, Jirachi, Miltank, three very annoying Pokemon, and he's got the top Null, or whatever that thing is, the Savali. What is that thing? Whatever. Anyways, we've got Tapu Lele. We've got a substitute 3 attacks variant with a modest nature, max speed, max special attack, basically. Psychic, Moonblast, Shadow Ball. We've got enough speed to outpace. I think base 80s or base 85s. And Salic Berry, after a Salic Berry pops, we will outpace everything on his squad, bar choice Scarfers. So that's pretty nice. And we can abuse Psychic Terrain with Tapu Lele and Mega Alakazam in the late game, which is always nice. Next up, we've got Mega Garchomp, which is our Stealth Rocker. We've got Swords Dance and 2 attacks, Dragon Claw and Earthquake with the Dragonium Z. EV to be able to, after a +1, we can knock out Miltank with the Dragonium Z with 100 EVs. That's how we're EV'd. We've got quite a bit of bulk investment as well, so that's really nice. Maybe we can, what's the word, bluff a bulky set, and we're actually very offensive with Stealth Rocks. That could be nice. We have a defensive Suicune to take on his Zard. We can always switch in, take any +1 hit and roar him out to prevent that thing from being too big of an issue. We've got Toxic to wear down some of his other threats and to beat down on his Miltank, which is really nice. Protect and Scald are our last 2 moves, just to scout with Protect, and then obviously Scald being the stab move of choice, obviously. Anyways, we've got a Safety Goggles Crobat, because he has, I think Breloom. We've got Taunt, Super Fang, Toxic, and Roost. This thing can 1v1 most of his team. Hopefully, hopefully, keywords there. Next up, we've got a Leftovers variant for Licky Licky, where EV'd to take hits from Darkrai pretty much all day. We've got the Brick Break and the Knockoff. Knockoff is to get rid of Leftovers, Eviolite, etc., on all of his mons, which Protect gives us our longevity. We can pass Witches off into Suicune, Crobat, and Garchomp pretty comfortably, as long as we're not in range of dying or anything. And we've got a Mega Alakazam with Taunt and 3 attacks, Psychic, Shadow Ball, and Dazzling Gleam, the same coverage that Tapu Lele has. But yeah, it's going to be the team here, and he's got 3 potential Stealth Rockers in Gligar, Jirachi, or Miltank, so he could lead with any one of those, or he could also potentially predict me to lead with one of my mons that could beat those, or he could predict me to lead with my own Stealth Rocker, which is Garchomp, which is actually what I'm going to lead with because Charizard is a huge threat. And he leads with Savali Poison, and we're going to go hard for the Earthquake and see if we can get some damage off on that, since he led with it. Anyways, he goes straight into his Gligar. We get up our Stealth Rock, says he actually just clicks U-turn into his Darkrai, and we're going to go hard into our Licky Licky, and this Ice Beam damage reveals that he is modest, and the fact that he doesn't go for anything else lets me know that he might be Choice Scarf, so that's something I want to keep in mind for the rest of the match. He sets up his Stealth Rocks here with Miltank. We're actually going to go for the knockoff, and he reveals to be a Z Crystal. We don't know what kind of Z Crystal he has, but he reveals to be Z Crystal nonetheless. And we're going to go out into our Crobat here. He goes hard into his Darkrai though, which is kind of problematic for us. And he's going to switch out into his Miltank, as we're going to go for the Super Fang and get some nice damage off on that bad boy. And then we're going to Taunt to prevent him from milk drinking as he goes into his Jirachi. So this thing can't wish or anything like that. And we're able to go for the Super Fang and bring him to roughly just above half after Leftovers and stuff come into play. But yeah, his Taunt's going to end. He's doing significant damage to us with his Psychic type moves. And he's kind of winning the exchange here. I guess we could potentially win as long as we get every play right. but it's kind of scary clicking, Super Fang versus a Mon that's doing half to you with an actual attack. And crits are a thing, so yeah, definitely didn't want that to be an issue. But it looks like we make a godly play here. We just go out to Suicune to just roar this thing out as he actually clicks Calm Mind, and it's perfect timing too, because had we did that a turn or two too late, it could have been all over. Anyways, we're able to roar him out, and he decides defogging is worth losing a lot of health on this Gligar as we bop him with the Scald there. He switches into his Miltank, gets bopped by the Scald again, and now he reveals to be faster, which is pretty likely. We didn't have that much speed investment, just a little bit of speed investment. And yeah, Miltank should be naturally setting higher than what we are creeping. Anyways, we're finally able to land our Toxic. And yeah, he gets his Stealth Rocks back up, so a little bit unfortunate for us. We go out into Crobat and then double into our Garchomp, predicting him to switch out. But he actually goes into his Zard, and we're going to fire off our Z move here. We've been pretty safe so far, and maybe a few predictions so far. So we just attacked what's in front of us, and we're able to knock out the Zard as he goes into his Gligar here, and we're able to just Swords Dance up on that. We don't do over half, though. Thankfully, the damage plus the rough skin damage does put him in range. But yeah, he goes into Darkrai to revenge kill us, and then doubles out into the Miltank, which is a really nice play, to be honest, as we hard switch into our Licky. We do throw off a Wish here, and we're going to be able to pass it into Garchomp as he goes out into his Jirachi. So here we could potentially Swords Dance again, but we're just going to set up our Stealth Rocks. It helps chip everything down. I think it's the better play in the long run. And we're going to go for our Swords Dance here. And the Miltank catches the Wish. We're going to bop him with the Earthquake. It does over half, but he's going to reveal the Sub-Zero Slammer. And very nice take there. So yeah, very, very commendable dude. Really enjoyed that prep. But yeah, we're going to bring in Mega Alakazam here, and we're going to go for the Psychic. He brings in the Jirachi, and we can click Taunt here, prevent him from clicking Calm Mind or Wish, which is really nice. And now we can just click the Shadow Ball. And now he brings in his Darkrai. So what we can do, we do think it's Choice Scarf, so we're going to switch out. I think he needs to be Choice Scarf, so he always has a reliable way to revenge kill Zam as well. But yeah, he can't continuously switch in on Shadow Balls. Eventually he's going to faint. Stealth Rock plus Shadow Ball damage eventually going to wear him down. But yeah, we finally get rid of Gligar's Eeviola, so now Mega Alakazam can hard switch in and be pretty much okay to just click the Psychic. But what we're going to do here is we're going to click the Dazzling Gleam, because Gligar can't do too much to us. It needed to switch out there, and we was able to get the knockout on the Darkrai. So yeah, Mega Alakazam picking up a knockout there, one knockout. And yeah, we can prevent Jirachi from setting up, and we're able to 3-hit KO this thing with Shadow Ball. And it looks like it's going to be Mono Psychic, so it's not going to be able to knock us out. And Gligar's in range of Psychic without the Eeviola. Silvally is the Poison type, so it's going to drop to the Psychic, and I believe Miltank was in range too of Psychic. So it looks like Mega Alakazam is going to pull out 5 knockouts in this 45 plus turn battle. Really, really fun one. And yeah, Darkrai is a huge set. Thank goodness we had Licky on our squad. That big fat ass thing, big blob. But yeah, it's going to be it for game 1. Let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comment section, and we can hop into game 2, which is going to be our week 11, the final week of the regular season. Alright, so our game 2 here, our week number 11, is going to be against Zardace and his Syracuse Serps or something. He's not had the best season. He's performed very poorly all season, but that's not to say he's a bad battler or anything. He does have a fantastic squad, in my opinion. Anywho, we can just hop into talking about our team. We have a Twisted Spoons Tapu Lele. Twisted Spoons boosts his Psychic type moves. Psychic Terrain also does the same, and we've got Psychic, Moonblast, Nature's Madness, and Taunt. Nearly max speed and nearly max HP with a little bit of special attack investment. Basically relying on Twisted Spoons and the Psychic Surge to boost our Psychic type moves to immeasurable amounts of power. And then we've got Taunt there to prevent things like Haxorus from getting out of hand, from Aggron from setting up on us with Stealth Rocks or Autotomize, same thing for Heat Ran, so on and so forth. And we have enough attack or HP investment to live a Specs Boom Burst from Swallow, +1 Poison Jab from Haxorus, Flash Cannon from Heat Ran, and I guess that's about it. Maybe a non-invested Heavy Slam from Mega Aggron, but it's a roll. We have a Life Orb Garchomp here, max attack, max speed, pretty much. Jolly Life Orb, like I mentioned. Stealth Rock, Substitute, Earthquake, and Dragon Claw. If I can get a sub up, Garchomp goes ham with rocks up. It really does. Earthquake and Dragon Claw being able to 2-hit KO Oko or 2-hit KO the majority of his squad. I think Mega Aggron, if it's very, very bulky, you can take 3 Earthquakes if I'm Life Orb. As long as I keep my Life Orb, I think it can be 3 KO, so that's nice. We have a pretty defensive Suicune with a little bit of special defense. It's kind of mixed defense. Max HP, Protect, Scald, Toxic, and Roar. Basically, Toxic everything on his squad, and then Protect, Roar, Wish up with Licky Licky, Roost up, Taunt with Crobat, as you'll see in a second. Well, you won't see it, but I'll talk about. We have the Oblivious Licky Licky, mostly a Spadef variant, but we've got a little bit of defense investment with Leftovers, Protect, Earthquake, Toxic, and Wish. Wish Protect there for longevity, can pass Wishes into Garchomp, Suicune, and Crobat, and maybe even Tapu Lele, since I do have quite a bit of bulk investment. Earthquake hits the Heat Ran, which is kind of a threat. And then we've got Toxic for basically everything else. We can also wear down Aggron too, as long as it's not like a Curse Rest set or an Autotomize set or something like that. And we have a mixed defense Crobat with the Black Sludge and the Infiltrator, so that we can bypass any kind of subs that my opponent might want to set up. We have Taunt, U-Turn, Super Fang, and Roost, so that we can wear things down, such as Aggron with Super Fang, taunt it from resting and setting up Stealth Rocks or Autotomize, anything like that. Can Super Fang until it's really low, then you turn out into something that can take a hit like Suicune and then knock it out with Scald or something like that. That's the general idea. We do have quite a bit of speed investment too, so that we can outpace Haxorus and taunt it and prevent it from setting up a Dragon Dance. And last but not least, we have a modest Mega Alakazam, speed, EV to outpace Swallow. Had I went timid max speed, I could actually outpace a Autotomized Mega Aggron, but I felt like an offensive Aggron didn't make much sense versus my squad. Anyways, we're going to hop into the battle here. He does have 3 potential Stealth Rockers in Aggron, Archeops, and the Heat Ran, but we have, a decent lead versus all of those, which I can taunt and prevent rocks from going up with my Crobat. But he leads with his Swallow. We are very, very bulky, so we can live any one hit as he goes for the Boom Burst, and it does about 60%. A little over 60%. So we go into our Licky Licky here, and we can throw off a Wish, see what he wants to do. He goes into his Aggron, and he's more than likely going to set up Stealth Rocks. We go into Crobat here to catch the Wish, and he goes for the Autotomize, so very interesting play here. We're going to go out into our Suicune as we can take any hit a little bit early to set up, and I don't feel like Mega Aggron's sweeping capabilities versus my squad are there at all. I'm just able to go out into Suicune repetitively here and click Scald. If he roars me out, that's fine, it's no big deal. We can get potential burns, so on and so forth, and he does 0 damage with Heavy Slam. Anyways, he switches out to Meloetta, and he gets Scald burned here, so that's a little bit unfortunate for him. We're going to go out into our Tapu Lele as he goes for the Psychic, and it does quite a bit of damage. And here, I'm going to expect his Heat Ran to come out, so I'm going to switch out into my Garchomp as he actually stays in for some reason. I don't know why he stayed in there, but he does. He does almost 80% to my Garchomp. I switch out to my Licky Licky, in which he does 51% too. So here, I'm a little bit on tilt. I'm a little bit confused, like, well, what is this guy doing? Why is he just, like, I understand using Meloetta and using my terrain against me, but had I attacked with Tapu Lele, you would be severely weakened, and definitely in range of Mega Alakazam, so I'm not sure what was really going on there. We're able to Wish up and get out of range of these Psychics, thankfully. As long as there's no Spadef drop, we should be okay. And we're on turn 14 here, so not too bad. And he finally switches out to the Archeops as we go for the Earthquake, so a godlike play from him by accident. And he's going to reveal the Head Smasher which is going to do a significant amount of damage to us. We're going to hard switch out to our Suicune. He will be able to 2-hit KO us. But Suicune was the most expendable Pokemon on the team, in my opinion. I felt like Aggron's still a pretty huge threat though, and Heatran. So I was like, maybe I can keep Suicune, sack off my Lele, then bring in my Mega Alakazam. I am modest. I do, unfortunately, trace Defeatist, which is a little bit unfortunate. And here he brings in his Meloetta. I do 48% with the Signal Beam. I'm going to be able to easily 2-hit KO him. I do have Focus Blast for Heatran and the Mega Aggron, so not too big of an issue. Had I can switch out here though, and then force him into clicking, Steel type moves and Ground type moves or something else, some kind of coverage because of Flash Fire. That's the plan, and I don't want to be toxic either. So the plan is to just keep clicking Earthquake, eventually find a way to bring in my Mega Alakazam or my Suicune, and then start firing off some Scalds as well. I don't want to be poisoned though. He is able to get up his Stealth Rocks, unfortunately, and toxic damage is going to start to wear up. He's going to switch out here finally. However, we are licky. We can live one hit here, and we go for the Toxic. So what this means is we can 1v1 this thing with our Crobat. So we hard switch into our Crobat to do that, and yeah, he goes out into his Aggron. I don't know what for. He would have taken an Earthquake. I guess it wouldn't have did much damage, but yeah, a little bit unfortunate. We taunt him, prevent him from doing any kind of shenanigans. He switches out to Swellow as we click Super Fang, which brings him pretty low. Toxic damage is going to wear him down here as we rooshed up. But my opponent gets a critical hit, and I believe that's going to be game. It's going to be tough to come back from that critical hit, as Crobat was the way to taunt everything and prevent them from setting up, so on and so forth. I could still win here. My play right now is to set up my Stealth Rocks. So here's my thought process. In game, my thought process was I need to click Dragon Claw and get a little bit of chip damage on this Haxorus. And put him in range of Mega Alakazam. Because if he was in range of Mega Alakazam already, I could have just brought in my Mega Alakazam and click Psychic here, and click Psychic versus the Swellow, which would knock it out. Signal Beam knocks out the Meloetta, and then Focus Blast will knock out the Mega Aggron and the Heatran. And Heatran can't OHKO me from what range of health I'm at. So what my play is to get some chip damage on Haxorus. What I wasn't thinking about was my ability though. If Haxorus attacks me, he will have the chip damage that I need to be knocked out by Mega Alakazam. So my play here is actually to click Stealth Rocks, but I go for the Dragon Claw, and what this allows is Mega Aggron to come in and click the Autotomize, lives any one hit from my Garchomp here, clicks the Autotomize, and now he's faster than my Mega Alakazam, unfortunately, and we're not going to be able to live this Heavy Slam. All we had to do was set up our Stealth Rocks there, and Haxorus would have gotten 17%, I think, 16% or something like that from rough skin damage. Would have been in range of Mega Alakazam, revealed to be not Choice Scarf, so I would have been able to knock him out with Psychic. And then Focus Blast, like I mentioned, knocks out the rest of his squad. Obviously, I wouldn't want to risk it if I didn't have to, though, so I would just click Psychic and Signal Beam versus the Swellow and the Meloetta, respectively. And then Aggron and Heatran go down to the Focus Blast. But unfortunately, I did misplay there after the critical hit. I played a little bit on tilt. My opponent was a little bit of an ass, did not comprehend. He's not smart enough. This kid wasn't smart enough to comprehend how influential that critical hit from his Swellow onto my Crobat was. So we had it out in the chat there. He's a little bit ridiculous though. Feel free to look up this replay and read the chat though. It's fucking hilarious. This guy, he's an idiot. Anyways, that's gonna be it for the regular season, and we're gonna finish like 7-4 or something. Let's see here. We lost on week 3 to Pichu. We lost to Joey. We lost to Pichu, Joey, Taco, and Zardace. Yeah, so that's gonna be it. We finished 7-4, and we do make the playoffs. So that's really nice. My opponent here, Zardace, does not make playoffs, so that's really nice as well. But yeah, let me know what you thought about their prep and the plays on both sides of the field for both games. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.